X2 from InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
I don't know what it is. Ralph just won't pay any attention to me. When he comes home from work, all he ever does is play video games and go to sleep. It's like I don't even exist.
Oh, Betty, that's just awful.
Does this seem familiar? If the answer to this question is yes, then listen carefully. Toxic pesticides, GMO foods and additives, BPA plastics, contaminated water supplies. Many of these toxic additives are deliberately engineered to attack and weaken human masculinity. It's part of the eugenics population control movement. Look it up. If men are more interested in online gaming than they are in their wives, a serious population crisis is soon to follow. Energize the man in your life with Super Male Vitality from InfoWarsLife.com. It's designed to aid the body in ways that help invigorate your natural systems without artificial testosterone, completely free of GMOs, harmful additives, gluten, and is made right here in the USA. Get your Super Male Vitality right now at InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139.
Hi, folks. Alex Jones here with some important information. I want to tell you about Matt Redhawk and his team of patriots over at My Patriot Supply. Several years ago, Matt was sitting in his two-bedroom apartment, frustrated with the direction this country was headed and the charlatans willing to sell us out for a quick buck. Deciding to take action, a company run by patriots for patriots was born. My Patriot Supply has never taken a loan or accepted outside funding. They now operate 2 distribution facilities and employ over 50 hardworking American men and women. It is rare to find companies who practice what they preach. And that's why I stock my pantry with high-quality storable foods from My Patriot Supply. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today for special offers on emergency food storage or call their preparedness specialist at 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Do business with someone who shares your values. mypatriotsupply.com/Alex.
A chemical spill contaminating the water supply in 9 West Virginia counties.
This year alone, over 300,000 people in West Virginia had their drinking water contaminated.
What are the health effects of having these drugs in our drinking water?
It's forced medical treatment without the consent of residents.
My friends, water filtration is one of the most basic actions you can take to protect you and your family from the harmful toxins and heavy metals in your tap water.
On average, the county says it sprays with the glyphosate at least once a week.
Few filters cut out the glyphosate that is found in water supplies worldwide. Remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, hydrofluorosilicic acid, sodium hexafluorosilicate.
Fluoride, it is in tea, it's in coffee, it's in water, it's in bread, it's in toothpaste.
It is our responsibility to protect our families. The establishment's not going to do it. It's time to take action. It's time to filter our water. Visit InfoWarsStore.com and use promo code WATER to get 10% off their entire family of incredible products. Or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
Coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
Defending the Republic from enemies, foreign and domestic. It's Alex Jones.
Well, John Rappaport is an investigative journalist, best-selling author, and a frequent contributor to Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com and our online syndicated columns. He also is the editor of NoMoreFakeNews.com. And we've got him on with us for 2 segments today. We got a bunch of guests jam-packed on this Sunday edition. We're here every Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. Central. And we, of course, return weekdays with the live weekday show, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Most Sundays, this broadcast is live as well. Sometimes you hear David Knight and our other reporters hosting the show. Right now, they're over in Europe, in Copenhagen, Denmark, covering the 60th anniversary of the Bilderberg Group. And I'm going to have them on tomorrow with a final take on the event that's been going on for 60 years, openly to establish world government. The dam really broke this year more than ever on Bilderberg, thanks to Infowars.com, WorldNetDaily.com, DrudgeReport.com, and all the rest of the real media. Most of it is libertarian / what you'd call paleo-conservative or constitutionalist. because we're diametrically opposed to Bilderberg, just instinctively, to being slaves to offshore corporate interest. And you see a Tea Party, Ron Paul style, UKIP sweeping the EU Parliament elections, the British elections, the local elections in England, the national elections. Same thing starting to happen here. This is a real revolution. It's got the Republicans and Democrats trying to target it to kill it here domestically. Same thing in Europe. Now, can they co-opt it? They're going to try. But so far, they've been unable to do it. They tried to take over the Tea Party, demonize it as Republican. That didn't work. So I wanted to ask Jon Rappoport, who's a savvy media analyst, joining us from Southern California, his take on Bilderberg 2014 and the mind control that world government didn't exist and these shadowy rooms didn't exist. We saw reporters beat up, the videos on Infowars.com. We saw the windows blacked out at the 5-star Marriott Resort in Copenhagen. We saw giant fences put up, free speech zones, all for something that didn't exist. But suddenly the dam is broken. Hundreds of publications, from the Wall Street Journal to the London Guardian to CNBC, are now forced to report on it. And most of them said, yeah, it looks like a corporate conspiracy. They've gone from denying it exists to actually being kind of against Bilderberg. We did see a few publications make fun of it. But Rappoport, what is happening?
Well, as you say, Alex, the dam has burst. The news has gotten out from Infowars, and other media outlets are picking it up, and they're being forced to admit that it exists. And also, the whole structure of monolithic media control of the planet has shattered. And to me, that is one of the main agendas that these people behind closed doors are discussing as we speak over there. What are we going to do about that? We're no longer able to just send lies down the pipeline and have them published as fact in the controlling media, because there's too much media now. We can't keep a lid on everything. And how are we going to gain back that control? What can we do? I'm quite sure that those discussions are ongoing. And of course, one of the main suggestions will be to provoke a major crisis, an event that will need to be covered with one story, one set of facts, aka lies, that will try to bring back one control, one world control of the media so that everybody's on the same page. Because they're losing the battle. They can't, keep putting their fingers in the dam and stopping the water. With the major media even now reporting on the event, they're in serious trouble. Serious trouble.
Well, here's an example. Nielsen reported last week that CNN in a year lost 44% of their viewers, MSNBC 24%, and that's from their already shrunk audience. Their joke level, Ed Schultz just quit his radio show. There's no so-called liberal radio because they're not liberals, they're fascists. I would consider you a liberal, myself a liberal. More guns, more freedom, more of our own money. I mean, I think the whole facade's falling. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely falling. No question about it. And not just in the United States, all over the world. So these guys are living in the past over there at Bilderberg. They're still trying to behave as if they've got an iron grip on everything. And it's, 1965 and nobody even knows they exist, and they're meeting every year and they're trying to pretend that. But other voices among them are saying, we have to wake up here. This whole thing is being destroyed. Our whole control factor is being destroyed. And so I think that another one of their discussions that has to do with mind control is, how do we improve the technology of surveillance? I mean, it's awesome even now, but how do we keep track of everybody all the time, everywhere on the planet, whatever they do, wherever they go, their actions, their thoughts, their statements, their words, online, offline, everywhere, because that's really, in their minds, the only solution they have.
That's right, and what they've got, all the big establishment government outfits saying in net neutrality, in fairness, the repeal of the Fairness Doctrine, bring back restrictions on talk radio, bring back restrictions on all sorts of speech, They're telling college students you can't have a fiesta party, it's racist. You can't say the word girl, you can't say the word bossy. I mean, this is a Monty Python skit if it wasn't actually happening. It's so absurdist that I really do now think they're smoking their own propaganda dope.
Yeah, no question about it.
Hey, let me shift gears. We're going to go to break here in a minute and come back and get into some other topics that I know you want to get into. But Santa Monica, the so-called mass shooting, half the 6 people that were killed, you know, he's the 7th, so we don't count him, were killed by knives. But then Dr. Steve Pieczenik's coming up later, you know, famous spy in his own right. He says it's a false flag. You live out there in Southern California. What's your gut tell you?
You know, I just finished reading for the second time this guy, Elliot Rodgers' manifesto, that huge, whatever it is, 140-page document. And I got to say that there's something that rings exceedingly phony about this. Watching him talk on video, reading his words, this looks like some kind of a put-up prop job to me. He doesn't sound legit for several reasons. He's making himself out to be, boo-hoo, look at me, I can't get a girl, I have money, I have a BMW. But when you read his words and you listen to him talk, it's like he's faking the whole thing.
It's like it's coming off as an arrogant joke.
Yeah, exactly. You know, this isn't somebody who's really desperate. This is somebody who's faking being desperate, who's faking the whole message that he's trying to put forward here. And of course, in the wake of the shooting, we know the agenda, you know, more psychiatric care, invasive psychiatric care, take away everybody's guns, which would now have to include
white
knives.
Men are bad, more racial division. I mean, it just goes on and on.
Exactly. To me, there's something set up and phony about this whole deal. It's just...
Well, what I don't get is why in Aurora, Sandy Hook, and now this massive connections to Hunger Games. You know, the first time there was a connection, I said, come on, listeners, knock it off. The second time, where she lives in the town, you know, the author, it gets a little weird. Now his dad's the director. I mean, this is getting weird.
His dad's a unit director on the Hunger Games, and he directed this one small sequence within Hunger Games that was a propaganda message about the new society and how we have to ritually sacrifice the children in order to remember that the treason of the rebellion was a horrible crime and we'll never stand for it again. And then you've got children killed at Sandy Hook, children killed in Santa Barbara.
And they have the exact same armored vehicles in the new movie, the second one, Catching Fire, that they are actually deploying on our streets. It's the same armored vehicle.
Yeah.
And then Marxism is the way to fix the problems when the globalists run that. I'm telling you, this is getting so weird, I can't figure it out. I don't know the truth. I'm trying to find it just like you are, folks. We'll be back.
This is Leanne McAdoo for InfoWarsLife.com. I'm here with Dr. Edward Group, master herbologist and chief formulator behind the InfoWars Life products. Dr. Group, what have you been hearing from women who've started taking Super Female Vitality?
You know, we've heard the reviews and feedback from Super Male Vitality, from emails to even excited callers on the radio. Now, the answer for women is here. A new formulation specifically designed for the female body, Super Female Vitality, delivers 10 key herbs that work synergistically to revitalize the unique biology of women.
I'm so glad that you guys made this for women. When he brought me home the bottle of Super Female, I had tons of energy, tons of motivation, a lot of drive. My husband thinks I've been in a better mood. Our relationship, all I can say is it's a lot better now.
I've just started taking Super Female Vitality from InfoWarsLife.com. Supplies are limited, so secure yours today at InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsStore.com, or dial 1-888-253-3139.
Hi, I'm Dr. Edward Group. It took me 20 years of searching the globe to find the deposit of the highest purity iodine available. The new Survival Shield X2 is mined from 7,000 to 10,000 feet below the earth in pristine, environmentally clean conditions. The iodine crystals we use are extracted from an ancient 300 million plus year old deposit deep in the earth. It's the strongest nascent iodine on the market today. It delivers 650 micrograms per drop. Experience the new formula. Experience the ancient purity. Shield your family. Survival Shield X2, available now at InfoWarsLife.com.